Hi guys, it's Matt again. I forgot to put my lav mic on, so it's gonna have to be through the audio on my phone. I just watched literally minutes ago Captain Xavier's K26 and Beyond video, where he modified a Modulus and used a Cherry DC2. Which is only rated for 10 amps. I'll be running a very high, well, relatively high current battery, LiPo, through it, but I did mine a little bit differently. So if you want to see a different method, you can see mine. If you want to go with Chalo's, use his. He's been an inspiration and a mentor in some ways, helping me out with various random questions about things that I've messaged him on Facebook about, and we've talked, and I respect Chalo big time. He's a awesome guy and a fantastic modder, and I really do like his content. So it's not a dig at Chalo or anything, or Captain Xavier. It's just a different method. So nothing to it but to do it. Let's go check out my Modulus. Okay, hopefully you've got a reasonable view of what's going on. The aperture on my lens is not wide enough, and my table isn't wide enough to fit my tripod up to full height, so I've removed the carry handle from the top just to make life easier, and remove the stock attachment point and get the screws in there because they're safe. Yeah, this is a different way of wiring your Modulus, and I've not seen anyone on YouTube use this method. I just kind of, well, bodged it a little just to make things fit. And I did fit a 21 amp on run in there. I lost a screw port, this one, because of the switch, but otherwise pretty much there was little modification needed. The majority of it went, because I put one of the worker thumb screws in here to make life a little easier, is the small tabs at the front I had to cut off. If there's a beeping noise, that'll be my LiPo charging over there, but I didn't have to remove the bottom of the battery tray. And this does run on a oh, I did write this down because I'm stupid and I forget things, but no, this one runs on a Zippy Compact 2200 milliamp hour 2S60C, which to me is move camera, is perfect. It's a perfect fit for this. It's a perfect fit for the Rapidstrike, Hyperfire, pretty much anything that's big enough, that's got a big enough battery tray to fit the LiPo. You can just drop Fang Revamps in there, and at burst the LiPo will do 135 amps. So it's about 65 at stall. So if we have a quick look inside and make sure I've taken all the screws out. Did I take that one out? Nope. I'm not going to do a complete teardown on this because it'll take ages. And I wanted to do this as a quickie video. So at least you know those two are rail screws. Will you open now? Sometimes bits can get a little bit sticky. Nah, that's fine. The grip itself is in two sections, as you might know. So that does help, and it makes painting an awful lot easier. But it appears that this is bound up somehow. But come on, there we go. So inside we have XT60. I'm sorry I ran out of red white. No, I'm not sorry. It's my blaster and I know which is which. So yeah, we got our standard XT60. Because I used a 3D printed flywheel cage, I had to extend the barrel, so I used some worker barrel material to run through there, some smoothbore worker barrel material. The jam door doesn't actually do anything apart from cover things up. The switch has been removed. All the switches, all the safeties, they've been removed. The big difference really is placement of the switch and the wiring, where I've got a 41.5mm crush cage with Bulldogs, Fang Revampeds in there, so it's got quite a bit of torque. The stock switches have all been removed and all the wiring has been removed, and rather than fit in a tiny little one and little switch and try and run the wiring through, I went for the big 21 amp on-run, which is just there, and then I routed the cables back and just dremelled out, very carefully dremelled out piece of the ribbing in there, and then let the wires run all the way through there underneath this piece, which the grey piece is completely separate, you can remove, runs under there through the wire channel to the motors, and there's your XT60. It's probably the hardest hitting flywheel blaster I've got, that isn't a rival, apart from my Hera. Some minor dremeling had to be done here on both sides of the shell in order to just remove that little ridge, that little lip. But when the battery covers on, it covers it up anyway, so it makes little or no difference. It does scream, and I did 3D print a nice mag release for it. It's not one of those comically large ones, as Captain Xavier pointed out. It's reasonable, and it's got good reach. The main thing is the bigger switch, and it is nice, clicky and responsive, and the pusher mechanism is just the same as standard, except there's no safety there. But then again, I know that there's no safety there, so it's my blaster. I know that you have to rev before you can fire. This is not one that I loan out. Not that I loan out pretty much very many of them. But as you can see, the grip is a completely separate entity, and that just pops on there, and all my wiring is nice and safe in there, and the wires run up through here and then underneath the grey section, and then out underneath the wire channel. And this is 16 gauge wiring, so it's not thin stuff. It's fairly substantial wiring, and it's good enough to meet the current draw. Well, in my opinion. But yeah, if you do want to put in a big switch, you will lose that screw port, but that's not really essential, seeing as you've got 1, 2, 3, and then there's another one here, 4 points where it's connected, and those 3 support that perfectly well. I did have to cut the barrel material down so it fit inside the lip of the AFP cage. Like I said, it's 41.5mm crush, and I have no idea how long this LiPo is going to take to charge. Oh, we're at 99%, so that's not bad. That'll take a minute or two, and then it'll just scream loudly at me. I have no idea what the point of this tube section is, because it just doesn't do anything. Anywho, if we drop the shell back on, like I said, I've not seen anyone. There goes that. I've not seen anyone on YouTube or anyone at all use that method of wiring the rev trigger through the skeletonized grip. It's not difficult. You just have to be very gentle and very slow and careful when using your Dremel. That's pretty much it. And once this is screwed back together, hopefully my LiPo alarm will beep and tell me it's full. It's currently running a balance charge. I know it's habit, and some people don't. They just do a fast charge sometimes. They'll do a balance charge, and then every 2 or 3 months they'll do a balance charge. But for some reason I always do a balance charge. It's one of those things about LiPo safety. And I do keep them all in their own individual LiPo cases, as well as a bag, which I'm about to grab, because I'm trying to kill time until that LiPo goes off, that LiPo alarm goes off. Let's grab some bits. And apart from the extended mag release, overall it looks completely stock, and there's very little chance anyone would notice. Just going to get the stock attachment point back on. Oh, come on, LiPo charge. I mean, come on, 99%. Can't take much longer. But it can carry on charging while I reassemble this. Generally, I run this with the foregrip, and I use the regulator stock and the Modulus scope, the 3-prong thing. They're not really necessary. but they're cosmetic more than anything, and the stock itself is more solid than the Modulus stock. The regulator stock also has magazine storage, but to me it feels better. I'm sure if I had a lightning, so I do have a lightning storm stock, but I'm sure if I put that on, it'd be a lot more comfortable. But this grip is easily replaceable, and I believe there are, on Thingiverse, there are 3D printed parts that you can use to turn this into a full carry handle rather than this sort of semi carry handle arrangement we've got. If only, there we go. See? If only I was going to, and then it works. So yeah, it is possible. It's completely possible to run 16 gauge wiring all the way through, and a 21 amp on run if you feel the need, and that is perfectly fine and just in time. I shall be back. Okay, LiPo is charged, and that is what I'm using. It is a Zippy Compact 60C series 2200 milliamp hour. It's a 2S, and it can be a little fiddly, but it does fit without any other modification, because there's enough room down here and around the faux barrel that you can tuck all your wiring up there, and I can never remember which way around I put this, because 90% of the time I get it wrong. You would have thought I would have learned by now. Then again, that's me. Ah, there we go. So there it is. It just sits in there quite happily. Whack on the battery door. Sometimes this can be a bit iffy getting it lined up. There we go, now it's lined up. And I need to back the screw out of that all. For some reason the screw's not biting. I can feel it, but it just doesn't want to go in, she said. Yeah, it's like screwed. It's just not centering, and I'm making this more difficult than it should be. It's just trying to find the peg where the hole where the screw goes in. I'm sure if I had like an ordinary screw this would be much easier. Ah, that sounded more promising. Oh, come on, bite, damn it. There we go. Right. So, all locks removed. Modulus stock. Regulator stock, Modulus sight, and Modulus foregrip. But this I didn't put motor braking in there, but that is a different way of wiring a Modulus. I did this a few months ago, so yeah, it took me a little while, but that was mainly because of the wiring and trying to find a good wire channel for the wire in the grip. There's no need to change the rev trigger, that's fine. And you can hear the spin times on that is virtually negligible. The rev times on it are very, very fast. I don't have a magazine on me, which is very strange. And there's not one on my table. I will go and grab a magazine and then I'll do a quick shoot on that. Back in a sec. Okay, this is probably what everybody wants to see. The end result. I've put 8 darts into my Blaster Parts 15 round mag, and it's all cool. So let's see how it hits. That'll be 40 feet to the black box in the back. So here we go. Headphone wearers beware. Now a few of those darts did fly a little bit erratically, and for that I'm blaming the magazine. But also darts, when they hit something, they tend to drop as opposed to rival rounds which just bounce off everything. See, it's quite a loose fit, the Blaster Parts mag. It won't fully engage unless you slap it right in. And from the jam door it looks clear, so yeah. Let's try another few shots and make them a little bit better. They're still spiraling a bit, but these are the tweaks that you do. I'm certain it's the magazine, because with other magazines it's performed better. Actually, I'm going to go and grab another mag and try it with that. Okay, so in that last shoot, I seem to have lost a dart. So I'm down to 7 in this official Nerf 10 round mag, which fits a lot more snugly. But I did find a rival ball, which is good. So you win some, you lose some, but still. It does have the mag storage at the back, but it's still uncomfortable. So let's try it with the real Nerf mag rather than the Blaster Parts one. Okay, let's go again. Well, that was better because the follower in this one is a lot better. I was going to say it's virtually the same except for a 21 amp switch and the wire running through that channel, and then underneath the trigger group, and then motors, LiPo, and that LiPo is, I could put one of my Panthers in there. It's 75C to 150, but this is 60C and it delivers enough current, so there's no problem there. And I think it'd make a pretty good HVZ primary, and it is comfortable. It is comfortable, and you can shoulder it quite well, and it's good for close range. So you do have the option of just ditching the foregrip and using it like that, but it's personal preference. I like the foregrip, I just think it looks neat, that's all. Doesn't really do anything, doesn't stabilise it, but there you go. Much thanks to Cholo and his video for letting me show you an alternate method. Whichever is best for you, choose. Cholo's a great guy. I respect him an awful lot, and he's helped me out so many times on different projects, as well as other people that I suggest that you check out, like Project Nerf and Broke Nerfing, and I'll include details in the show more section. But I'm pretty sure everybody knows who Captain Xavier is. Yeah, so if you want to see more stuff and better stuff, then like, subscribe and hit the bell icon, and I'll also include my Patreon, and once I reach a certain level I'll be doing giveaways. I think I'm 100, let's say 150 subscribers, I'll do a giveaway, just a little giveaway, and then when I hit 1,000, a bigger giveaway. So I'm nearly at 100, so let's say 250 freebies, 1,000 big freebies. So hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll post you your freebie. So if you win, what you have to do is like and subscribe and drop a comment in the comments box below. Please keep it clean. This is for everyone. So take care, have fun, wear eye protection, and Nerf on. I've been Matt, and I will see you shortly. Have fun.